All right, good morning, boys and girls, and welcome to your first official math lesson um, from home. So we're going to skip from chapter 10 and we're going to go up to chapter 12, which is two-dimensional shapes. We'll come back to chapter 10 and 11, but for right now, all of third grade across the board is going to start on chapter 12 so that we're all doing the same thing. So today what we're going to do is we're going to get to know a little bit about shapes today. So we're going to do a little review here of what you know. So it says, show what you know. And so it says, check your understanding of important events. So hopefully you've turned to the opening page of chapter 12. So plain shape. Color the triangles blue. So hopefully you are coloring your triangles. I'm looking for my marker here, but I think it's covered. Let's see if I can find a pen here. All right, so color your triangle blue. Hopefully you guys all colored your triangle blue. Color the rectangle red. So go ahead and color your rectangle red. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6-sided shape. You guys know a 6 is a hexagon. You have a 3-sided shape, which is a triangle. You have a 4-sided, all sides the same shape. That would be a square. And then you have a 4-sided shape, which you have 2 sides, the opposite sides being the same length. And so that would be a rectangle. So hopefully you did. Oops, I'm doing the wrong thing. Let's find my eraser. So color the rectangles red. So we know that, where are my colors? We know a square can be a rectangle, but a rectangle cannot be a square. So you should have colored your 2 rectangles. All right, so then it says write the number of sides. So write the number of sides. So if you go and you count 1, 2, 3, 4, you have 4 sides. And then write the number of sides. And remember, you should be marking these off as you're counting, just so that everything's nice, neat, and organized. So you do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So you would write 8 sides. Just remember to mark them off because some of these shapes are going to have a lot of sides and you don't want to accidentally forget to count one of the sides. And hopefully you know an 8-sided shape is an octagon. Circle the shapes that have 4 or more sides. So you're going to make sure you're going through and you're checking them off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So circle that 6-sided shape, which hopefully you remember is a hexagon. Then you have a 1, 2, 3-sided shape, a triangle. This says circle the shapes that have 4 or more. 1, 2, 3, 4. That is a diamond or a quadrilateral. Any 4-sided shape falls under the quadrilateral. 1, 2, 3. You have another triangle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Think to yourself, what's a 5-sided shape? You are correct. That is a pentagon. And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that is also a pentagon, but that's an irregular 5-sided shape. Okay, so then we have math in the real world. So I have a video that I want to share with you. So I'm going to see if this will switch over to our video. So let me minimize this and pull up our video. hopefully we'll be able to do this each day. So you can see all the different shapes when you're looking at all these buildings. So try to find all the different shapes. You'll notice she's not going with her first try. She's trying many different ways, many different trials and errors. Okay, let's go back to our smart notebook. So then Whitney found this drawing that shows 9 small squares. Find the larger square in the drawing. How many squares are there in all? So we know there's 9 small squares, 1, 2, 3, and then you have 1, 2, 3 going down. So they want to know, find the larger square in the drawing. So if you look here, you should be able to see that if you have 3 on one side and 3 on the other, that they are equivalent on each side. And we know squares have to follow the rule that all sides are the same. So this would be 1 square. So look at that and see if you can find any other squares within there. Give you a second. You can pause the video if you need to think. So right here you can see there's 2 on this side, 2 on this side. So there's a square. Then you could go here 2, 2, and 2. Then you could go here 2, 2, 2, and 2. Or here 2, 2, 2, and 2. I think I found them all. So remember, pause the video anytime that you need a minute to think because I only have 15 minutes for this video and then I have to move on. So you just keep pausing it and you take as much time as you need. So here's our vocabulary builder. So it says complete the tree map by using the words on the check mark. So you can scroll down and see them all. You have quadrilateral, and underneath quadrilateral falls rectangles, rhombuses, squares, and then 3-sided shapes would be a triangle. So if you come back up, a polygon, and a polygon is defined as a closed plane shape with straight lines. Polygons have many different sides. So it's a closed figure. And we're going to talk about closed and open in just a minute. So a polygon, we could fill that in with a triangle, and then we could fill it in with a quadrilateral. So triangle here and quadrilateral here. And if you need time to think about what would be a quadrilateral, what you could put on these 2 lines, pause the video. That could be a rectangle, and then you could also have a rhombus because rhombus has 4 sides. And then the last one would be a square. Okay. So then take a moment and draw a line to match the words with their definitions. And in your book, you have all the definitions at the beginning of your chapter, which we usually go over. And so we're going to do that right now. So a closed shape right here, okay? And a closed shape is a shape that starts and ends with the same point. So you're going to go right here, sharp. A closed shape, obviously, it starts at one side and ends on the exact same point because it would be closed. A line segment is really interesting. A line segment is part of a line that includes two endpoints and all the points between. So a line segment has a little dot, a line, and another dot, and we're going to see that in just a minute. A right angle, you guys have seen right angles all the time, so right angle right down here is a right angle. Okay, so a right angle is an angle that forms a square corner. So draw your line to here. Then you have a hexagon, hex. So we know that a hexagon is a polygon, a many-sided shape. It has 6 sides and 6 angles, and 6 has the X, and that's how you remember it, and it's the third letter in. An angle. So an angle is a shape formed by two rays that share the same endpoint right here. So that's an angle. And this is an angle right here. And they share the same endpoint, which will be right here. And we're going to see a lot of examples of that in just a minute. And then a polygon is a closed plane shape made up of line segments. A closed plane shape, a polygon. Okay, a many-sided shape, but it's closed. Okay, so we're going to move on. So we're going to describe some plane shapes. So here are our actual definitions here, and we are going to look at some ways to describe two-dimensional shapes. So we have an architect draws planes for houses, stores, offices, and other buildings. Look at the shapes in the drawing at the right. So you're looking at this house right here. Okay. Now a plane shape on a flat surface. So plane is flat. Okay. A plane and two-dimensional, those are the same. So those are synonyms for each other. Plane and two-dimensional. It's a flat shape. It's formed by points that make curved paths, line segments, or both. Okay. So a point, this is an exact position or location. So this is a point. It's just a dot. It tells you exactly where you're looking at on a line or a line segment. Then a line continues on. It's a straight path and it does not have an end. If it has an end point, like a point, these are end points. Okay, so on a line that continues on forever, you could put a dot, an end point here, and an end point here. And that would mean that you're talking about a specific part of a line. And that's called a line segment. It's part of a line. And it's straight and it has two endpoints on it. And you've seen this many times. So a point is just a dot, a line continues on, endpoints are actually the endpoints of a line segment. And then you have a ray. So think about this as the sun, right here, this dot, make it big, and it's the sun, and then rays come out, and they just keep on going. So it's straight, it's part of a line, and it has one endpoint, and it continues on in one direction. Some plane shapes are made by connecting line segments at their endpoints. So what I want you to do, because I'm running out of time on this video, is I want you to do this next page. Look at it, come up with some answers for this, and on my next video, which I'm going to add in just a second, I'm going to give you a little bit of time. I want you to look at this page here, review it. I want you to look at, actually I don't want you to look at that because I'm going to show you the video, the share and show video. So this right here I want you to look at, and then I'll be right back with my next video.